Arabusan for that year near Yantia Sempa, send a medical can former first lady Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. It came to us as a shock. Mommy, say 1 year, 76-year-old. But I think say Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings, na ye mubi no expect say mommy and ne e better say ye mommy and kan hobim. That was one of the shock. When I heard the news initially, I didn't even believe it. Until say I went round to cross-check from different media, who say Ampa and because he say, when near that's a BBC report, then I go to see say Ampa and Okre. And who say the president of the land, President John Dramani Mama, a Genesis Piso, Aka, Asi, and I could Agyeman Rawlings, it will a minute of silence.
This afternoon, I received a delegation of the children of our late mother, Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings, to inform me about her untimely and unfortunate passing. I'll ask that we rise and pay a moment's silence to her memory.
All right, this is what presidents pay. Moment of silence. Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. President Bibia Bokode. We say some of them got a very simple death. Death ain't simple, but I think say one kunye plane crash and as accident be ankwama utiante na sebe ultimate daboko na say you pass on to the next generation. I think say idea you maybe idea everywhere no. But some people's death is so shocking. Say the way a death on the tibano, or dream will be or na one casano. A sign how I drink a crap. But Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings did. The woman say how drink na mommy a call peacefully. I think say that is something you will be educated. The last time I saw Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings, asante hema a year say enemy who Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. That was the last time I met many who in public.
Anamali kwe soni na mama krawalo ko bempo mesime donwalo nese mwatwe sinyenya no akatu afu obi kwa mfako boss memo ko ya dance obi kwa mfako boss memo ko ya dance na prefe jampo antumana na wino breche me da ka to da so na wono so me da mo da so na wono so akira bo na me fa hwehwea no me dia sa no nya bra bia wona ma wo me bari da me wo ba ma lo se akwa o se bo so akwa ba me na me pe so
That was the last time I remember Nihunu Yamame Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings in public. Now here Mami Mfunyi Yamidi Guya. If you have brand Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings, or ya baya no to Mami no Jenna so she played an active role in Ghana. Mami, it will be a Sebi Ghana there. Untimini democracy in Yin and Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings in Sinchen. We have some of these pictures that will be how and then a ma ten home kama mountain stage and Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings a play Robia Ghana and ma most of laws ne a cover and ma and then on Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings any player ye be kobi ni pa brain so nim say Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings a true book and kasa. It takes a woman, a life shaped by heritage, leadership, and the woman who defined hope. And I couldn't imagine my Rawlings and Gasa Churu. But just open book, Ibiata, but the link out to the description of this particular video. We me order electronic one and as a digital one and as a paper version. Now also what me kind. Because sometimes we need to go back and then cross check. Nema Ghana and Penny Fobinum. I ye teaching so a ho. So nipa we brain him say and I couldn't imagine my Rawlings a book cry. But we need to go back and then go and then recheck all these kind of things. So about Juma. And Konadu Agyeman Rawlings, in fact, why are they pa? So what I'm gonna do now is say, me do go through some of the things that Konadu Agyeman Rawlings, the destiny of our dear nation, many people do not know. I will take you through about 6 or 7 things that Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings Ghana me feel say any ebeje ne ho kama pa. Ye maami was the first lady of Ghana in 1979. Or premier in 1979, 1981. Who say Papa Rawlings by 1979 to 81, and Okoye then 2001 or signed under democracy. And the Queen Maami play very, very key and active role in the democracy of our land because being the first lady was serving the president, all this kind of war. And I want to say, idea, and any penina, any yankopo more that particular opportunity to be those kind of people. In the PNDC era, Naya Mame, Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings, and Sana Yeba Betty NDC, Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings played key and active role in it, involving the policy, advocacy, social programs, and Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings played key and active role in it. If I should say, Nene da what is answering we are. Untimini Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings from the formation of NDC. A woman said, "No, contain a political party along the point." By yet NDC, no, Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings play key and active role. But a Bimukra suggests say, "Akatamanso a the Chinese symbol of NDC, no, Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings actually proposed it." I would say these kind of things, and these are historical facts and data. I will say, "Eka edition in the Sometimes we as people, and you be and it go straight as we all want because nipa does an idiot. I say, "Obey papa no ya born." Sometimes or shortcomings be more. You might not even know it, but I catch it we will pinpoint it to you. Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings played that an active role. The Pachamokai 31st December Women's Movement, and so Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings in a piece had in 1982. Into one of Ghana's most influential women organization, which is the 31st December Women's Movement, and Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings and a KAA. A lot of daycare centers across the length and breadth of our country. Me ko me krum tachiman na bi wo ho. Uwure tachiman marketer daycare ne wo ho ni nyana Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings ene ma efetige. Because the idea was say, ye maame mo na they were not working. And as we be also ma wo ba ntimi nya adwuma to Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings made sure say ye better daycare centers all market circles in the country. Na ye de asum ye maame no mba because o ko edwuma otumi de oba ikuja daycare centers never ya Obama okoba no asa babajo ba. You know all these kind of things. They say we need vision pa sebe untimi enye. So she actually promoted women's rights in education, in economics, in empowerment, in healthcare, and then a whole lot of things. In Ghana, met me Genesis peace what I say, yeah mama ene already from 50s, 70s, 80s, be anyone and Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings in a way I impacted on. That is a fact. I'll come back to some of the messages I want to about now. And so these are some of the things that we need to address them. No pap say her later decisions I don't agree with her, but the impact she had overshadowed her shortcomings. Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm trying to arrive at here. Maybe too I have my own shortfalls. Only the shortcomings. And we need to understand the role she played. That one there, intimate, most of the vocational trainings I know when and Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings NFA. So she actually participated in politics and leadership in our country. And ultimately free Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. So that is a fact, and we need to do this kind of things. The third point was the advocacy for women's empowerment and gender equality. PNDC lo 111 Pachamokai Samra. Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings they play a key role in that kind of law. Go back and Google search the PNDC law 111. Idea PNDC law 111. So the affirmative actions in Ghana politics to give women more opportunities in governance was being pivoted by Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings and a boss Agyeman. She published and she pushed for the establishment of the Ministry of Women and Children's Affairs. Later renamed the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings in the pushing you kunusa amaye samrano. So most of them mrana ase eboa emane enkwadano. Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings was advocating for that. And as I said earlier on, she was a founding member. Actually, Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings, I had a video, and Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings said, she did not join NDC, but she formed NDC. Yet NDC, I better know, because we had a PNDC. So when Rawlings wanted to move from the military regime to democracy, then they had to form the NDC, and Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings was there. So in 1992, Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings played an active role about NDC. And then throughout the nation, campaigning. Indeed, Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings will trade to be Obibeka said Nikunu was a very charismatic person. But I also say that Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings also was a very charismatic woman. Opushi Nikunu. Ma omoye niyema bebree. So we need to praise her. Oye niyema bebree o mayinum. But then at the latter part of the day, so Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings koti ono angasa in the political party. Abra one Professor Atamils, premise also Professor Mills, a beating Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. And Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings thought, no, I also need to form my own political party. So she formed her own political party called the NDP. But the people name say NDP. Abra eti NDP no. Former President J.J. Rawlings was also present. Our NDP, I say. So that's the Democratic Party in 2012. Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings and the thing. That time, no, na abua papon we are to bimpa. Odi Kennedy Japonchi. He was also with Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. And the people in Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings say, Kofi Adams, Victor Smith, a whole bunch of them. Made meabo Ghana Panyi Fubebra. To be honest, time Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings at NDP. No one supporting Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. Sometimes some of them might shock you, but anyway, that's politics. It's what your father is because sometimes the name be on where you might think say about saying how we could in Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings, but that is politics. Anything happens in politics. So Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings was the first woman to form a political party and then to run as a presidential candidate, the first woman in Ghana, and Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. That is in 2016 election, and Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings featured in it. Until under her campaign, she was advocating for transparency, integrity, and women participation in national decision making. That was Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. Oh, you need to change. My man said there was a play ruin a democracy. I don't know. Maybe a man or mabano. I don't know who might fit in the shoes of Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings. But let's see. Maybe somebody is gonna come back later. But for now, they won't even in general. And I said, she was also an author and a publisher. And in the book, at the screen here, I was open to description of this particular video. Ubenya ebi ewo ho ato. So this is Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings' book. Nipa bebre adwen ni o makan book ne da. Enti pacho so unya mbre nkwan na akoto bi na kan. Ebebo because she said a lot of things. Sometimes no one will say, yeah papa the current president e book ewo ho nipa bebre enko kan ye. Pacho so ni ma train ma kan kwa take your time, go and read some of this kind of mpanyifo and some mpanyifo we kano. Ebi wo ha yenso your life you bet him the shipi and kasa your life. Nti prebi kan book no me the link na to this particular description. Unya bi akan. Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings also played a role in international representation and then advocacy. Nti Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings featured on various global platforms. Either say oye speaker and I say like a lot of things in Africa, in everywhere we are seeing Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings played an active role. She also collaborated with the United Nations and African Union on programs supporting women and children. Until Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings there, sabe, o twene free how Ghana ye shape your system no wa enye ye minim ni pobet me atwene sin chen there. That is the truth. Because all kind of credit na aka no credit. Enye easy. Until for Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings also help communities projects in a lot of projects or support farmers, traders, small scale entrepreneurs, especially women. That one also no. Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings eboa magana itimi kodru sa level no. Inti me moment there sende ye ma me free ma. The only thing I bet me can say will play a better role in our society. Although says some people might argue or disagree or some of the things at the latter part no yeah. But it was okay. Because who said when a President Rawlings, if you Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings became so calm, say, on how the system actually is a Ghana no you couldn't na Ghana for ni but wo as a person no but she did her part, she played her role, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. Until now you can say Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings is a member of parliament, Senator Rawlings. All right, so Emily thinks that Senator Rawlings can tap into that and then expose herself to the world, and I think Senator is doing something like that, but not we are saying also be our style and yankopon at the bono. For that one day, I see a kind of be our how yankopon the bono. Into a woman say be a how and Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings not here. The Senator might be trying, but I'm here on ne mame level no. Mame level no there. Obe Branson what do ho? Obe pa. Emily say yes. Rawlings say when Nana of a friend Nana go. I will go, but she was campaigning for NDC. Yeah. Rawlings was NDC and Rawlings in there. But of course, Nana Rawlings has to follow Nana. What I say? But of course, we are not about bashing on the party NDC. Doesn't mean say Rawlings was totally for Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings or something like that. So powerhouse, you are right. Into your and now, mommy, we need to go down, praise her, and then do a lot of stuff. What me because mine we have a lot of people who be able to play a role. We had the current first lady, Nyama Oya or Ghana na, and also the partner no, or Kunu or Ghana or Boatima Mufuo. Because when you watch your Nyama first lady, some of them no, so your Nyama Kesia, and also here. So each of them have their own roles to play. But the only thing said, Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings then there as I started about Ghana, kwani him democracy kra. Not a money any right. Then she brought up this kind of ideas, and now I'm beginning up or say pushy. Emma, those ideas came into reality. Or say making sure the ideas stayed into. She was doing something and not extraordinary at that time in Africa. Few women even had those kind of ideas. Anyhow, not otimi pushy Emma niema eba into reality no. But we are all people, we are all human. We be our not being how our person so we cannot pick Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings' rule to suit that of others. But of course, she did her part. And she yebabo nabaso. And then Yankopon emfa kra in see babia or the piano. Yankopon emfa kra see kopim say bepe ne kra bia kasa. I think say buchi ano yemamu nyina yako. Na Ghana fo nyina so Nana Konadu Agyeman Rawlings mame yenso yenhye yenso yehu. That is something we are going to say.